This is Soren here with the Celtic Phoenix blog. Here today at Space City Con with Dietrich O. Smith. Dietrich currently is working on the Shaft Imitation of Life book. What else have you done?
Battlestar Galactica, Bionic Man Annual, Vampirella, various throughout the years. Hercules with Fred Valenti, who's actually here as well. Quite a bit.
So I guess start off with, how long have you been in the
industry?
Yeah.
20 plus years. Back in around 94 and 95, I was hired as an intern at Extreme Studios with Rob Liefeld. Spent a few years there learning the craft. Then I did a few series. I actually did a Nightman Gambit for Malibu when Malibu was still in business. After that, I ended up going to the animation field. Spent about 3 or 4 years animation field, and still wanted to come back to comics, so I've been back in comics since.
Growing up, what made you want to get into comic books? Or what was that like defining moment that like, this is interesting, I want to see if I can do something with this?
I think just loving cartoons so much, loving anything that was Hanna-Barbera related. I think it was through watching so much Saturday morning cartoons. When I got into college, I went into mechanical engineering, but I found myself drawing more superheroes in my notebook than actually doing mechanical engineering work. So I left Auburn. I was at Auburn, and Rob and those guys were doing a talent hunt. So I applied, left college, moved out to California, and got lucky enough to be hired.
The stuff you haven't worked on, the characters out there, who are you like most interested? Who is your I wish I could work on that? Someone would call me and let me work on this book.
Well, some of my favorite characters that I would love to tackle is X-Force characters. I love Cannonball. I love Cable. Cyborg for DC. Nightwing for DC. The Flash for DC. Black Panther, around the edge. Too many characters for me to name. Yeah,
I had asked that question to Hannah back in October, and he was like, "Well, I pretty much worked on every major character."
Yeah.
It's like, but I had like, if I was to work on a series, I want to work on this one.
On a series?
Well, let me put that. If someone was going to do like, we have a series where we're putting together a new team to work on this book. What book would you like to work with? Or
I think it would be a mixture of some of the X-Men characters. If I could work on like an X-Force, I have a big love for Bishop. I don't know why I didn't mention him first, but I loved when Will Portacio first presented Bishop. And it was actually Jim Lee, I believe. Or was it?
Yeah, Jim Lee. I think
it was Jim Lee. I would love to have Bishop and Cannonball and Cable and Domino and Shatterstar. So I guess X-Force.
I guess you're currently working on Shaft Entertainment or Imitation of Life. Most of you don't know that it's Dynamite, right?
It's Dynamite.
Dynamite is last year put out basically a Shaft book, which is basically his origin, how he got into being a private eye. And since then, they've acquired the rights to all the books. So they're working on putting that together. An Imitation of Life, I assume, is one of them.
And actually, David Walker actually wrote continued the novels as well. They gave him access to do that as well.
I was wondering, are you just hired on at the moment for Imitation of Life, or?
No, I've been with Dynamite on various books for the past 3 years.
Well, I mean for the Shaft series.
No, I think Imitation of Life just actually wrapped up. So,
are they going to have you continue working on Shaft, or are they bringing someone else in for like each book or something like that, put different look to the book?
No word so far, because I think it was Bilquist at first, and then I came on for the second. So I think David is kind of wrapped up with Power Man and Iron Fist and a lot of other books at Marvel. Right now, I think he's actually doing something at Dark Horse as well. So I don't know if he'll actually have the time to do another Shaft right now. But I know he would like to continue on with it. Having me on as the artist on the third series, I'd be willing. I'd love to. Like I said, Shaft is, an icon that I always admired as a youth. So if I could come in for the third series, I would.
I guess for people out there thinking about getting into the industry, what's like some of the best tips you can give to them?
Use social media. Use social media as much as you can to present yourself and present your artwork to try to gain followers. I hate to say pester the editors, but that's pretty much what you have to do. You never know when a fill-in might be needed, and you could email that editor at that right time. But like I said, social media.
Because we've seen with issues, especially with the annuals, where they'll have the list of who worked on a book, and there'll be 4 different people, like in one book, because like 2 or 3 pages in the middle of the book are drawn by someone else. Maybe that person who was scheduled to draw wasn't able to do it. So it's like, I like this person's style. Let's bring that in to fill in these pages.
Exactly. Like I said, you just have to constantly put your stuff out there online.
And I mean, as much as I can't stand the book, I think it was the Harley Quinn #0 where they had like 32 people on it. Yeah. My understanding, a lot of those people are like, unknown people, whereas like that's their first shot at actually, or not necessarily their first shot, but the first shot at working on a big title. Which I mean, I thought about buying the book, but it was just the different style from page to page was just for me essentially really too annoying. Like it kept hurting my head.
Well, that's why editors always want to try, when they do try to get a fill-in artist, they try to get somebody whose style was sort of similar to the artist that they're filling in for, because like you said, readers don't like too big of a transition, don't want a big jump in style, doesn't seem to fit.
I guess that might be it.
Right.
Unless there's anything else you can think of you want to say or talk about?
Well, check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Dietrich O. Smith. That's pretty much my handle on everything. Like I said, I'm trying to stay out in social media and check out all of Shaft Imitation of Life.
Which I really like. It is an interesting. I mean, I haven't read any of the Shaft book novels, but I find Imitation of Life pretty interesting. This has been Dietrich O. Smith. I hope the rest of your convention's goes well, and you come back again to Houston sometime.
I will. The city's lovely. I appreciate being on this. Glad you wanted to talk to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.